Welcome to Essential Living with Pilar. I am Pilar, so welcome to this show, which is called Essential Living because it goes through lots of topics of all things holistic, all things that are of benefit to life and the planet. So, welcome. Today, the topic is water, the element of water. And that is a very prevalent topic right now. It always should be, but especially now. So I'm going to expand upon it and take that opportunity to really expand the consciousness of what the water element represents, at least some more. As we know, I'll show you a little globe. Make sure it's right side up. You know, this is like a little mini version of our beautiful planet. And if any of you have a globe or can get a chance to take a look at one, our planet is, just like our physical bodies, 70 to 80% water. So that's why from space it looks that beautiful blue-green color, and on and on and on. So there is much more to the element of water that we daily think of. And yes, water is life. Water is supportive of our life. Our entire body is mostly water, including, of course, our blood, all the chemicals that we produce. We're mostly water. And what science knows, just using our bodies as an example, is that our emotions affect the liquids and the fluids, the chemicals produced in our body. So the same goes for all the water on the planet. The element of water is a conductor of messages and emotions, and that's something that isn't thought about very often or at all, if ever. And a long time ago, well, not a long time ago, but several years ago, and I will recommend these to you. A gentleman called Masaru Emoto wrote these little books on water. I recommend you get them. If you never read them, get them and read them. If you did read them back then, which was about 2004, 2005, read them again. I think it's time to bring that consciousness back up to the surface. No pun intended. This, and then there's this other one, which is also by him. I took the little blue cover off of it. The Secret Life of Water. So both of them are extremely enlightening and expansive in understanding what's happening with the element of water. Water, of course, like everything else, carries a vibration. And the vibration can be either healing or destructive for everything. So not only do I want to bring back that consciousness to as far as like how our watery bodies are, how do they work and how do they react to those vibrations, but also how that affects all the bodies of water on the planet. Part of these books and that expanded the water consciousness back then more is that even though water is so polluted and so abused, it can be helped. And Buddhist monks were participating in experiments in Asia that they would sit and meditate and pray over bodies of water that were very polluted. And then they went back. First, they took a sample before, recorded that, and then they went back after the water was treated with prayer and meditation and took another sample, and it varied significantly in the results, even because it formed beautiful crystals under a microscope, where before it just looked like a distorted mass. So if you can translate that into our own body, you can imagine what our thoughts and emotions that are generating our blood circulation and the chemicals that we produce in our body, you can extrapolate the significance of that. So I want to bring that to the surface again now because it is so important for the water element to be honored and show gratitude to. The other thing is that whatever that water that was used as an experiment was exposed to within the laboratory, which was in certain cases music, either really hard and aggressive type of music or beautiful, mellow, or rather really pretty harmonious music, the effects were completely different. And I want to bring to the consciousness for us to do for ourselves, because it's always about what we do within that it affects the without. So it always starts with us, and that's always the point that I want to go back to. So start paying attention to the music you listen to, the environments that you expose yourself to, because that is creating a vibration within your water in your body, and also that water being a carrier of messages, and it is a conductor. I mean, the military has been using this forever, and it's a tool that water is that conductor. It's important to always know and be aware of. The other thing is too that water that was put into any container and was labeled a certain way with certain words, because words have power, of course, and carry a vibration, also reacted very differently afterward under a microscope. In my personal research and just learning things over time, I did come across a learning, and if you want to know more about that, you can contact me directly through my website, goldenagetimes.org, or you can email me, goldenagetimes, via the website, or goldenagetimes@gmail.com, and I can give you more information if you want it. But the water element has been misused, even though it's been put on this planet to sustain our life and support us in every way and comfort us and heal us and everything, but it's been used destructively. So for example, all the elements have been. So we're going to go into the other elements as well in future episodes, but water being the biggest primary element on the planet and in ourselves, and because it is attached to our emotional system, which is the most powerful system that we have as part of our being, it merits a greater, I suppose, a greater time of attention. But weather patterns and things that have occurred at sea and nature patterns and natural eventualities called cataclysms or whatever, destructive things, are really a result of our imposing all the negativity on the element of water. And one example that really caught my attention years ago, because I used to live in Florida, and of course we're in Hurricane Central. I learned that path of hurricanes or storms that form off of the west coast of Africa and follow through the Atlantic Ocean onto the Caribbean and create cyclones are on the same path geographically that the slave ships took when the slave trade was active. So all that negativity and all that suffering that was imposed, and the water element was used to promote and progress and facilitate, impinged all that misqualification on the element of water. Hence, that is still active within the oceans and within that jet stream and all of the elements that create those storms forming, because they follow that. And of course, they all end up in the Caribbean and the southern eastern part of the United States, which of course is where the slave trade thrived. So nothing is coincidental. Nothing in nature happens by accident. Nothing is happenstance. There is a mathematical precision to everything that happens in life. We just take everything for granted. And I want to just really bring up that consciousness. And whatever I ask of anybody who's listening and likes to participate with me, I first am asking of myself to remind myself. So what can we do? Is just start with the little things. Be mindful of what you impose on your own water, being your own body. You know, what do you expose yourself to emotionally? What do you expose yourself to with music or things you listen to that generate chemicals, a chemical reaction within your body? Also, what was recommended in these books, and I started doing it then, and then I kind of left it and I forgot, and I'm starting to do it again, and I want to invite you to do it, is first get yourself a glass water bottle. You know, those little plastic bottles that we get at every store and then just get thrown away. You know, it's just another imposition on the planet. So take the time to get a water bottle, you know, rinse it out, wash it, you know, just take the little extra step. But besides that, I'm going to use these little cups just to see what you can do with water, because with the water that you carry, to elevate the vibration of the water that you drink. And also in your house, all the faucets and all the places, drains where water goes through, you can assist that water, because, again, it was proven scientifically that words that are put again onto the water will receive that. Water is a live element. It's not just this thing that is mindless. It is a consciousness. It is a conscious entity. It is an alive, conscious entity, more powerful than us. We just don't think of it because it doesn't have human form. So the one thing to do is to put positive words on containers of water or any vehicle where water went through. And that was scientifically tested, that it changed the vibration and the appearance of the water and the quality of the water when looked again under a microscope in a scientific laboratory. So this is not just woo-woo. This is real scientifically proven stuff. So I'm using this little cup as an example, but get your water bottles, whatever you have to drink water, your glass. You can put labels on it. You can get a little Sharpie, and you can draw a little heart on it. Like, I don't know if you can see. But try to use don't use a black Sharpie or a red Sharpie. Try to use either a blue one or a purple one. Those colors have a higher vibration, so I'm going to draw a little purple heart here. You can do that, you know. You can do that or on the outside. Or write words that are positive. The words that emit the highest vibration, even if you just use those, are love and gratitude and thank you. So you can write love on your bottle. You're going to go further, write gratitude or thank you. And I know it looks kind of silly. It's not. You know, write this on your water glasses. You can even get those little sticky things that you make labels out of and put them on things. I'm going to draw a little heart under my water bottle, which I've been meaning to do. Because water does sense that. It receives that, and it elevates the vibratory action and frequency of the water, and therefore it's more healing water. And we can go on and on about how you can make healing water for yourself. Again, if you want to know more, contact me and I will tell you. But you can make any beverage, really, that you mix with water more of a healing thing by just even if you just write on it. And it is an important thing to do for everything that carries water within your household. And I would make little labels, put them over, and this is your homework, and I was going to make a little thing that you could see on the screen, so you could write that down, but I neglected to do that, so I apologize, but I'll just tell you. make little labels that you can tape. Even if you use duct tape, works fine. You don't have to get crazy or fancy. Put a little piece of duct tape over your shower head. And you can write, you can put either a heart or just really write love and gratitude. Write thank you. Over your faucet in the kitchen or on your bathroom sinks, wherever the water comes through, just put a little label. You make it pretty, it does, just so it looks attractive. But the water will sense that, and it'll just improve the vibration of water in general. I know it sounds like it's not really going to matter, but it does. You can just put the little piece of duct tape. You can draw a heart or write the words, love and gratitude. You can write thank you. You can write I love you. Anything like that is just really giving gratitude to this element that is our life. It supports everything that we do. And the oceans is a live organism. Every body of water is a live organism. All water is a live organism. And the same information, in other words, a drop of water is just as important and just as potent and carries as much life and energy as a whole body of water that's huge, or an ocean, a lake, a river. It doesn't matter, because it is that little drop of water, remember, is carrying that message. So there are ways to have to heal water, to create a little amount of water that is charged with a certain type of energy, and you can pour it into a large container of water and just enhance that. And it is also very powerful. But I would encourage you highly to get these books. Again, it's The True Power of Water. Is Masaru Emoto is the scientist that conducted these experiments. He just passed away, I believe, in the past year. So that's kind of a sad loss to the planet, but he did leave a priceless legacy with his scientific studies. And they are recorded, and they are scientific studies. They are not just whimsical opinions that he created. So I wanted to really bring that to the attention of everyone because of all the water issues that are going on today. Globally, everybody's aware of it, especially in this country, of course, how we impose upon the energy of water. And it is very important to address that, starting with our own homes. So if you have, most houses have a septic tank, and I would put something on where the lid is, or where wherever the access to it is as well, because if you think about all the imposition that water has to deal with, I mean, it's not just, it is here on the planet to facilitate our life, but it's, I think it deserves a lot more respect and gratitude than we give it, and assistance. And how we can do that is to acknowledge it. People talk about talking to plants, and we know that also, that talking to plants does make them thrive and make them grow more potent and more healthy, and produce more of whatever, if they are a productive plant, but just more beauty. The same goes with everything. Everything has a consciousness. Even an inanimate object like this table, it's created out of elements that were once more animated, more of a natural source, whatever it was. So everything has a consciousness, but especially the element of water is something that we really, I think, now need to kind of really pay attention to and make friends with the element of water. Back in ancient times, of course, where we were less material, or that's not the right word, but we were more mindful of nature. We were more respectful of nature. And where seemingly mythological stories came about, of different elements and what they produce. They were not just silly things. People were more in tune with nature back then, so they were more familiar with the spirits of nature. And I don't mean that in a fairy tale kind of way. It really is really the consciousness, is probably a better word, of the elements of nature. So they were more respectful of them until we started, doing things that start accumulating that negativity, and nature responds. And it's not because it's attacking us. It's just a natural way to cleanse itself. The planet has a natural way to just get rid of what it doesn't need. And if we continue on the path that we've been on, it's not going to need us at all for very much longer. And so it would be important for us to be more respectful of it and take care of it. But it starts within our bodies. So start paying attention to what you listen to. When you wear a T-shirt or something that has a label that says something, sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's more positive, but sometimes it's not so great, keep in mind that that is the message that you're putting into your cells, into the water element, well, all your cells. But think about the same a comparison that we just did with writing positive things on your water containers and so on. We are a water container. We are the first water container that we have. So if you're going to wear something, make it a positive thing. I know that there was a one time that, there is that store is called The Limited. And I realized, I don't want to wear anything that has that label because it says limited. And I want to be limitless, not limited. So I didn't want to, that kind of clicked with me when I became familiar with these books, because it's not something that I wanted to put against, on my body of water. All right, so that's your homework. As we are winding down the year, it's time to start a new year with a different consciousness, because we have had the opportunity to see what the mass consciousness, cumulative mass consciousness, has brought us to at this time in every way. So for those of us that are paying attention, it is our job to carry the mass consciousness forward a little bit more. So in conclusion, I'm going to read you something from what do I call it? It is the cosmic being of water, which we don't think that has consciousness, but it does. And mythology, folks, is not something that is a story. It is, they always say truth is hidden in plain sight, so it is. So I'm going to read you a little passage that came through from Neptune, which is the ruler of the water element, many years ago. But it is a very powerful little thing. So here it goes. When water becomes for you a friend, when you know in your being that within every drop of water is the love of our hearts and the elixir of life eternal, when you control the element of water within your own emotional bodies, you become qualified to be the controller of the entire water kingdom. We require your assistance and protection for great numbers of people and many living things who have not this conscious understanding, and know not even our names nor our service. I live for that day. So, water is alive, and water is a much higher consciousness than us, and it is part of this planet to sustain our life. It is our life, so we owe it the respect and gratitude that it deserves and more. And whatever we can do, even though it seems small, that we can do to help it, let's do that. And start by just blessing every drop of water that you come in contact to. When you take a shower, say thank you. When you drink water, say thank you. When you flush your toilet, say thank you. When you're out in the rain, say thank you. And when you think about yourself and your own body, and when it's not feeling so good, for whatever reason, that has been accumulated over time, that it has come to a state that is undesirable, start saying thank you. And you just might start to feel a little better. So with that, I will leave you. And I love you, and thank you for listening. And I hope you have taken something from this that is helpful. But remember, we are vibrational beings in a vibrational universe. And we either can vibrate to a high frequency or a low frequency. So let's rise and shine in our frequency. And it all starts with the biggest element of water. And our beautiful blue planet still has the opportunity to shine again and get the weight off negativity we've put on it. So let's do that, and let's say thank you to all life as we wind down the year, and let's get ready for a better one. I love you all, and thank you, and I'll see you next time. And coming attractions, which will tie into the elements and how we can make our bodies healthier, but also the concept of, I don't like to use so anti-aging is a big kind of buzzword, but I want to talk about regeneration and rejuvenation. So we'll go into that as we go along, and I'm sure everybody's interested in that. But it's all about vibration and consciousness. So with that, treat your water with love. I love you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.